Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at all of the lovely secret rares from Super Electric Breaker. I've been telling you guys for a little while now that this really does look like a special set. A set which is better, frankly, than the other Scarlet and Violet sets we've had so far. A set that is, if I may say so, a rather big deal. So with that borne in mind, let's start off with all of the artwork rares, because let's face it, that always seems like a pretty good place to start. And let's start off with Vivian. A fitting place to start, given that I have just arrived in Lille in France, and this is a French Pokémon, or at least a Pokémon from the France-inspired game with a very French name. So the Vivian here, it is of course by Ren, who is an artist of very distinctive style. Either you love it, or you don't. I think it's cool. The only one of these we hadn't actually previously seen was Larvesta, and we got a lovely artwork here by Whisker with a little sleeping Larvesta, who looks adorable. Ceruledge finally gets an artwork rare here, and it's got a very distinctive style by Rond, not Rend, although very, very similar. This is going to be a favourite for a lot of people. We got a Feebas by Kuroi Mori here, and it is worth noting, there we go, that this is the same artist who does the Milotic special illustration rare, and they look like they match, they look like they connect, they actually don't quite. If you put them top and bottom, you can see that the plants don't quite match, but they are clearly very, very similar, same artist, and the whole Feebas in the dark looking up and the Milotic having burst through into the sunlight, just a ridiculous pair of cards I think we can all agree we love. The Sphere by Mikikudo here is just absolutely adorable. You see all the Sphere, the one looking grumpy in the water, the one backflipping in, the couple that are asleep, and then you notice in the front right, that Sphere just out of focus, staring into your very soul. We've got ourselves the Shinji Kanda Magneton. Remember, Magneton is a great card. It is the one that lets you KO it to accelerate free energy. It is a really good card that I expect to see a bunch of play. And this is the coolest version of it. Although do remember, it is going to be our Elite Trainer Box promo in the West. Now, Stunfisk is one I just showed you yesterday, looking grumpy, but then again, you look at all the footprints around it and you're like, people keep basically stepping on Stunfisk. I can understand why it's sitting there looking a little bit grumpy. Realistic looking and awesome. Now, one of my favourites from this set is the Hyganasuke Mesprit. I adore the artwork of Hyganasuke, so having the Mesprit here is just absolutely wonderful. But not quite as wonderful as the Phanpy. This is my real chase card from the set. This is my favourite of the artwork rares, and I actually got to reveal it in English, which was awesome and made me very, very happy indeed. Now, Alolan Dug Trio was one we actually saw in that Hong Kong Taiwan product, and it's just cool. Yukihiro Tada here, just knocking it out the park. Weird that Paradise Dragona was the last set, and now we get the big beach-inspired Alolan Dug Trio. Don't really care. The artwork is stunning. Just like the Slack Off. I'm not a huge Slack Off fan generally, but the artwork here of it kind of lying back and relaxing makes me genuinely happy and delighted. And then we finish off with the Kecleon here. Mori, you just kind of drawing a Kecleon, and of course, how many Kecleon are in the image? Because there are a bunch. I want to say it's 5, but if there's more than 5, then it's not my fault. I'm colorblind. So there's all your illustration rares. What about the Pokemon? Well, we can deal with the full art and special illustration rares together. And we'll start off with Durant, which has this full art, which I actually kind of like. And it's got this special illustration rare. Now let's go and put one either side of it. You can make an infinite line of Durant. Asari here has turned into an artist I really, really love. They've only done a few cards, but they are awesome. But I adore the design here that you can basically put these Durant side by side to make an infinitely long card of Durant. I think that's wonderful and brilliant and awesome. And yeah, I don't like Durant, and I'm annoyed that Durant got a special illustration rare and Palossand didn't. That makes me very angry. But at least they gave Durant this lovely connecting artwork by a wonderful artist. Although, I need to point this out, they didn't give me a Palossand special illustration rare, but they did give me a Durant walking on flattened sand, which could just be a knocked out Palossand. This makes me sad. Scovillain gets a full art but not a special illustration rare. And I did say, 10 damage plus 70 for each damage counter on it. There is potential with Scovillain here. Milotic gets a full art and a special illustration rare. It is the one that I showed you a moment ago. And of course, do bear in mind that I did show you the Feebas by the same artist as the special illustration rare Milotic. A stunning pair of cards. And I have found that generally speaking, where we have these cards that are, done by the same artist, connecting, etc., it does tend to drive the price of both cards up a little bit. Maybe not a coincidence. Now, Pikachu we need to have a chat about because there are a bunch of Pikachu. We've got the full art, and we've got the special illustration rare that I showed you a little while ago, and we've got the gold. Yeah. Pika's, look, this is going to be the big set for a number of reasons, but one of those reasons is the Pikachu. The fact that we get the special illustration rare and the full art and the gold, and we get all of those in the same set. Make no mistake about it, this is going to be a big set, and it's not just for Pikachu, obviously, but I am telling you that Pikachu absolutely counts here. So I suppose pick your favourite Pikachu. I might like the full art, weirdly. Now, Palossand, as I mentioned, gets a full art but doesn't get anything else, and that makes me very sad. And while we're here, we might as well mention that Tatsugiri gets a full art but not another version. And I will say I love Tatsugiri, and I actually really like full art Tatsugiri. I might just go and collect the full arts from this set at this point. Other than the Pika, they're not going to be terribly expensive. And honestly, the Palossand is beautiful. The Tatsugiri is beautiful. There are some nice Pokemon here. And then the other EX that only gets a full art is your Slacking here, who is, sitting down there slacking. Cannot attack, remember, if your opponent doesn't have an EX or V in play, but as soon as they do 2 energy, 280, discard 1 energy, that ain't bad. Oh, and we need to finish off with Hydreigon, who gets a full art, but also the Akira Igawa special illustration rare I showed you t'other day. It is ridiculous. I love this. In terms of special illustration rares, this might be my favourite set that we've had for Pokemon. I like the Durant, but my chase here is the Igawa Hydreigon. This is the one I want to be pulling from a pack. Now, moving on to supporter cards, there are a couple here. No, I lied to you. There is exactly one that only gets itself a full art. It is Serrano. Only gets a full art. Sorry about that. The good news is there's 3 in the set, and the other 2, they get special illustration rares as well. Now, I previously showed you Jasmine, and I love the special illustration rare here. And I just mentioned at the start of the video, I've just arrived in France, and I'm casting, obviously, the Lille Regional Championship this weekend for Pokemon. So it's like the land of lovely bakeries. So I think I'm going to go and do a Jasmine in a minute, and then again tomorrow morning. Oh, and then of course the other one we've got here is Clement. It's a pretty cool special illustration rare. We hadn't seen the full art previously. Now we get to see the full art and the special illustration rare. They were both only revealed today, and they're kind of cool, honestly. Special illustration rare, sitting around doing his electric thing. It's pretty cool. Make no mistake about it, Jasmine's going to be the big deal here, but I think the Clement cards are cool. Now, in terms of gold cards, I've already shown you the Pikachu, but there are a couple other ones that we have here as well. Like Night Stretcher, for example. This is a card which a lot of people are playing right now. It puts a Pokemon of basic energy from your discard pile to your hand. Well, wonderful news, now we've got a gold version of it. And then we've also got Gravity Mountain. Remember, this is a brand new stadium card from Super Electric Breaker, and it just reduces the HP of Pokemon in play, or Stage 2 Pokemon in play, by 30. Remember, there's always a random hidden Pokemon on there. You've got a Shroodle here, although it used to be Kato doing the stadiums, and they made me happy. Onishima does a great job, but I kind of miss Kato doing the stadiums. Right. Here we go. That's what you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me which your chase cards are from this set. I've told you mine as we've gone through. There are a lot I want from this set. Tell me which ones you're after in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at Lawasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.